right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sights on the City. We have a sight of the city for you that you may not have seen yet, but the 21C Hotel Durham is open to the public. A beautiful permanent collection and a wonderful gallery. My partner in crime, Chris Vitiello, and I got to see it and talk to Jeff Bell.
Yeah, Jeff Bell, the gallery director here, sat down with us and had a nice long conversation down in the bar lobby.
Also a gorgeous space.
The collection here and the plan moving forward, and really just sharing in the enthusiasm of this space being open and accessible to us all.
This beautiful museum, come see it, Durham. You will not believe what a great gift our community's been given. We're delighted. Follow our YouTube channel at the Clarion Content. Check us out on Twitter. Check out our main site, clarioncontentmedia.com. My partner in crime, Chris Vitiello. Love working with this guy. These Durham conversations have just led us to some terrific places. I know we're going to keep having a bunch more of them. We're grateful to Josh for shooting. We're grateful to our pal Tad Hunt for being out there on the other side of the camera doing production and helping us out. Thanks a bunch, Durham. We curate your city. Sights in the City. I'm sitting here with my partner in crime, Chris Vitiello, Jeff Bell of 21C Hotel. Delighted to be here and have this wonderful access. He's shown us already a little bit of the amazing site-specific installation and the gallery, and we're going to get to see a whole bunch more of that. But right now, we just want to talk to him about the story. Chris and I are delighted to have you. Thank you so much for coming on.
It's great to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a little starry-eyed after having wandered around in the gallery upstairs. Which is going to be open 24 hours a day.
365 days a year. Maybe that's a place to start. I think we were all shocked to hear that. Tell us a little bit about the company and how you found it to be, how this came, you got to see this kind of access with people. You said they sent you to Louisville?
Right, the headquarters is in Louisville, Kentucky. That's where the first hotel was. And they sent me there for several days to sort of learn the business side of things, but also see the galleries.
Right.
And then they sent me to Cincinnati for several days, which is another one of the branches, to see one of the places that's not at the headquarters.
So we were saying when we were upstairs, Chris and I were shocked at the scale devoted to the gallery. You just can't really tell online how much this is a museum. Like how big is it, and what's that look like to you when you see it as a gallery?
I think it's great. I mean, I think it's an amazing, like you said, an amazing amount of space dedicated to work, and there's work throughout, of course, in the restaurant and lobby spaces and other places, and
when you saw that in Louisville and Cincinnati,
I mean, it was amazing. They call it a museum hotel, and they want everyone to know that it is a museum first. And you'll hear the people in sales, you hear people in food and beverage say the same thing. It is a museum first. And one of the things you hear a lot of people say is that art drives commerce, and they really believe that the art is what makes everything happen. So they're serious about dedicating space and a beautiful collection.
Absolutely. I mean,
I think it's fascinating because Aaron and I sort of started the show because we would be talking about art and development, and it was just like, these things come together. How do we come together? Let's continue talking about it. And it's so often when you bring art and development together into a conversation, it's really the arts justifying the fact that they have commercial value, they have social value, But the arts often have to start the conversation. So it's fascinating to be in a place that's a commercial venture. This is a hotel.
Right.
And yet it's a hotel that thinks of itself as a museum. And it's not lip service. We were stunned upstairs at just the cubic footage devoted to art space.
Sure.
These are areas that could have been hotel rooms generating revenue quite easily. And there's art hanging. There's a lot of art hanging. Because there's a big collection behind it. Could you talk a little bit about the collection that is sort of circulating constantly through all the 21C hotels?
Sure. The collection is over 2,000 works. Almost all of them, except for just a handful, are since the year 2000. And they rotate through the different the different museums, but there's always work in storage. I mean, it's just a lot of work, and the curation comes from our director, and she culls from the collection to put together thematic shows at the different locations. Sometimes they travel to the other locations, sometimes they're specific to a certain location. So
yeah, to have that scale collection, I mean, we were talking about it in the pre-interview off camera. It's a gift to the community. I mean, you would not believe, or Durham will not believe, 24/7, 365 days a year, a permanent collection. There's so many site-specific pieces. I mean, we're sitting looking at these spoons across the way. Could you tell us a little bit about the spoons? Because I know we're going to shoot them later.
Sure, yeah, that is a work called Spoonfall by Ned Kahn, and it is a site-specific work. It'll be there forever.
I mean, site-specific, Durham, you hear this? That means like in perpetuity, 24/7, 365, donated to the community. And there are tons of these works in that building.
Yeah.
So go on.
Yeah, one of the founders, Steve Wilson, I believe, went to see work from Ned Kahn, and he had a similar piece with metal, like cappuccino spoons. And so they worked with him to come up with a little bit different concept, and one that fits the space. And then they obviously, in the construction phase, they built that area specifically for that piece, and it's been really fun.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. How much fun is it then? I mean, the ethic that we're hearing about, they promote from within, and yet they hire locally, and they've got just this intensely loyal staff. I mean, it's got to be a great job.
It's been really amazing so far. I mean, like you said, they've brought in a lot of people from the other locations, but they've also brought in a lot of people locally, and people have made amazing connections, and I think everybody is working for the same goal. And it's great. I mean, all of our staff is trained on the artwork. If you pull aside anyone from any department, they'll know a little bit about the work, and that's still going on. We're so early in it that the training process is still going on, but it's a neat thing to have everyone connected in that way.
It's a subtly different idea, but a really interesting idea. I mean, you said that the design and construction of the restaurant bar lobby area where we are right now was done around that artwork. Right now, so often you have a space and you think, well, we should stick some art in that space. Let's find something that goes there. But this is the other way around. We have this great work, we want to feature it. Let's build around featuring and presenting this work in an interesting way. I think it shows a priority.
To the psychology, and says, what's first here? It's first as the art. It's first in museum, and it's just the values of that are underlined over and over again.
And one thing that a lot of local artists, I mean, just in conversation over the last year or so, since we first heard the 21C was coming here, was, one of the questions in their mind was, will there be opportunities for local artists, Durham artists, Triangle artists, North Carolina artists, to have work purchased by the collection, to have work showing somewhere in the museum, hotel? Will there be a North Carolina or Durham presence in the building?
There is and will be, and it'll vary a lot. Our guest floors from the 3rd floor to the 14th floor, when you step out of the elevator, across from you are works by local artists, and all of them are connected in some way to super graphic. So when from 3rd through 6th, when you step out of the elevator, there's another bank of elevators across from you, and on those floors are works by Bill Fick, and then we have work by Stacy Lynn Waddell, Damian Stamer, Brian Gonzalez, Harrison Haynes. And that's an ongoing thing. All of the 21C locations have a vitrine program, is what they call it. Here, there's not a specific vitrine. It's not behind glass.
Right.
Very large work, some of them, and we can go up and take a look.
Yeah,
and we'll do an event that is just for them to recognize their work and let people see those spaces.
Yeah, that's great.
And then there'll be a ton of programming. So part of what I'll do from here.
Right. We should explain to people that while there's permanent collection, there's also rotating.
Right.
So go ahead. There's the program.
Here in the restaurant, the exhibition found at Counting House will be up about a year. The restaurant works stay up about a year. The other exhibition spaces stay up about 6 months. So those will rotate. The vitrine program will rotate some. And then, of course, we'll have a ton of sort of pop-up events and artist talks and programming for the local community.
Yeah, that's terrific. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that type of stuff. Sure. It's just cool to have a space with that kind of massive availability, you know. And I think it's something that that museums and galleries want to gesture towards, but they aren't set up to do it. You know, they aren't set up to be open 7 days a week or 24 hours a day or overnight even. It takes a huge effort to actually pull that off. And you know, we're starting to see that, for instance, Friday night into Saturday night, there's going to be a 24-hour open installation that Rachel Herrick is putting up at Golden Dome. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. But you know, those are the rarities. But it's exciting to get that kind of access and availability, and I'm fascinated to see. Even though this is a very upscale feeling space, I'm fascinated to see who comes in the door and goes up to the galleries. I'm
and
really
coming in
interested
the door is
to check that
breathtaking,
out.
people. When you come through the lobby itself, it's breathtaking. And I mean, we're just super grateful. We're looking forward to going upstairs and walking around with you. We're delighted, Durham, that you're excited to watch this with us. Of course, I'm Aaron Mandel, Chris Vitiello, Jeff Bell. Very grateful to have him. You can follow us on Twitter at Clarion Content. Chris at Chris Vitiello, ChrisVitiello. Behind the camera, our man Josh Hart, available at Made with Heart. We'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more great content like this. Durham, we curate your city. We're glad to be in the 21C Hotel, and we're going to show you a whole bunch more of it. Jeff, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Josh, thank you so much for being there on the other side of the camera. We really appreciate Made with Heart. This is the Clarion Content. We curate your city. We curate your city, and this is my friend Chris Vitiello. He's going to tell you all kinds of amazing things you can do this weekend.
Yeah, we are in the 21C Gallery, which is totally open, 24/7 access. You can come here at 4 in the morning. I like to do stuff like that at 4 in the morning. You should too. So sure, now you can come here whenever you want. But there's lots of great Third Friday stuff that's going on. So many that I had to write it down. Can't do it off the top of my head. Let's start off at the top. The MFA Experimental Documentary Arts thesis shows are starting to roll into focus. There's a really interesting show opening Friday night. That's March 20th at a photo object show at the Power Plant Gallery. That's a gallery in the Full Frame Theater on the American Tobacco campus, right underneath the Lucky Strike Tower. If you haven't been there, you should go check it out. That opens at 5. Most of the other things open at 6, so you can hit that early and then scoot downtown to go to a bunch of other stuff. The thing that I'm most excited about, a wonderful photographer who's gone away to get an MFA, but she'd been in Chapel Hill before then. Gail Goers has a new book out by Daniel 13 Press, locally edited.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, a gorgeous book, and designed by Dave Wofford at Bull City Arts Collaborative. She's going to be celebrating that book and signing it, and then there's about 7 of her large format photographs up at the Bull City Arts Collaborative, so hit that space. That's next to Daisy Cakes, between Daisy Cakes and Piedmont, if you don't know Bull City Arts Collaborative.
If you don't know Bull City Arts Collaborative, you should.
Yeah. Other stuff, there's a really interesting show not to miss at the Carrick. They're having their opening reception on Friday, and then the show's up for just another week. The Center Gallery is a great historical gallery. The legacy of that gallery is being celebrated. It was started in Chapel Hill in like 1977 or 78, quickly moved to Carborough because it expanded. Every gallery and art space that you go to in the area has a line back to Center Gallery. It was a crucial sort of step forward in the art scene here, and a wonderful space for community, particularly female artists. So it's a great sort of co-op feminist space.
And Durham feminist roots run deep, from the Troika Music Festival and all the great bands that have come out of here and played here. It's a 2.5 degrees of separation thing to see what the Center Gallery did and who was connected with it.
It's a multi-generational show, so original member artists and other artists they've mentored and sort of gathered into their community over the years are showing together. There's a wonderful talk that Kate Dobbs Ariel is going to be leading at 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon at the Carrick. Don't miss that show. There's a lot of work in that show, a lot of work, so they're very cool. Other good stuff, Through This Lens has a cool show up of Michael Rosenberg's American Tobacco photographs. Dirty Durham Art Collective has a show of works in ink that is something that shouldn't be missed as well. I'm really psyched about that because I know I'm going to be seeing the work of a lot of artists I'm not familiar with. So
if you're trying to get into the young Durham tip and see what our up-and-coming artists are doing, couldn't do worse than to talk to the Dirty Durham people. They've got their finger in a lot of different connections.
Where you need to end your evening, or even if it goes into the wee hours this Friday night, is down at Golden Belt, where a Raleigh-based artist, Rachel Herrick, really fantastic person, is reinstalling her Museum of Obese Conservation Studies. That's the acronym. Yes. MOCS, Museum of Obese Conservation Studies. This is a 24-hour overnight pop-up. It is open 6 p.m. Friday till 6 p.m. Saturday, open the entire time, and Rachel will be in the space in character the entire time, which is kind of an amazing act of artistic endurance anyway. I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it. If you want to see a piece I wrote about the show, look in this week's Indie Week. There's some elaboration there. It's not to be missed, and I'm planning on going in the wee hours of the morning just because you get to do that now. You get to see in the middle of the night.
Right, that brings us full circle because we're in a place where you can be 24/7. If you're even more wee hours after Golden Belt, come to 21C Durham. It's open to the public. It's a tremendous gift to the community. You will not believe what they have given us in the permanent installation art, the pop-up show, the pop art that's here now. We're delighted to be here. Follow our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, the Clarion Content YouTube channel. Check out our website, clarioncontentmedia.com. Follow us on Twitter. My partner in crime here, Chris Vitiello. Follow him on Twitter, Vitiello. Josh Hart on the other side of the camera. Follow him at Made with Heart. He's the tremendous filmmaker who's bringing this all to you. We're grateful to be here, Durham. We curate your city. Happy to do it.